I feel that the main product and the auxiliary text work well in some parts and could be improved in others. This is perhaps explored in the mise-en-scène based in my auxiliary task and the main product. There is a level of inconsistency present in terms of costume. An example would be the change of ties and hair of mine, or the change in hairstyles and clothing of Miranda. We concluded, however, it shows the different disguises for Miranda and is easily allows the audience to identify the various different points in the film. However, I felt the establishment of character, plot, and exposition had transitioned incredibly well from my auxiliary text work to my trailer. My personal USP is the originality of the plot and the twist on the heist genre. This was encouraged in several ways, such as the typography, the text, and the emphasis on who my characters were. I had used the Oceans franchise as reference when creating my auxiliary tasks, particularly on how they portrayed magazines, where they'd refer to the main character actor or how the heist team featured.
For the main and ancillary tasks, I think they both work together and are quite consistent. However, the font of the titles don't really correlate together, and I think that's something that the audience will notice. The front of my poster shows the student aspect, but that may be a bit difficult to notice. The USP of my poster is the fact that it's minimalist, and the costume change may also be an issue in terms of the magazine, relating back to the film trailer.
The USP of my auxiliary task and main product is having a female protagonist, which rather goes against the usual conventions of a heist film. This therefore will be noticed easily by the audience and therefore will be a powerful tool in trying to promote the campaign as a whole. There was, however, an inconsistency in the font types and colours throughout all three pieces of work, and therefore again can be easily noticed, therefore not really showing a sense of connection across the auxiliary task and main product. However, both the front cover and magazine front covers include the same characters.
I evaluated various types of auxiliary text, such as my font, which doesn't really go effectively together with my full magazine, which could have been improved. With my film magazine, the main character, which is me, seems to be very determined with a mission to be accomplished. The image as a whole, which is the gang, looks like they're going to plan something which helps set the plot that something will go wrong at the end of it. My poster also shows that it's a typical heist film with the clothes that the characters are wearing, with professional suits and formal attire. It shows that the gang are preparing to set the actual heist. My unique selling point on my poster would be that would be me, the character, as it portrays the theme of a post-feminist character.
Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is the second question. Second question.
I evaluated various types of auxiliary text, such as my font, which didn't really go together with the film magazine, which could have been improved.
I evaluated my auxiliary task based on my film magazine and the poster and the trailer. As in my poster, there were a block of colours for each character, which was an advantage as we kept this consistent throughout the trailer, as each character was shown to have their own personality. For example, Ashish, in the background, he had a blue colour, which reflected his cool / laid back personality. Also, the consistency of the mise-en-scène from my film magazine to the actual final product of the trailer was also kept consistent, as on my magazine you saw costume which was reflected in the final trailer, which don't make the audience think a lot, as if the costume wasn't the same in the magazine to the trailer, then the audience would think it was a waste of time. So I kept that consistent.
In terms of feedback from other target audiences, we posted our trailer on Facebook, and what they said was that our storyline was very effective and the use of transitions were also effective and good as well.
I said it was a very unique plot, isn't it?
Yeah, general positive feedback. Using that target audience feedback, it helped us take some of the scenes out which we filmed initially to use in the trailer, which were rather comical and slightly moved away from the heist genre, so it kind of helped us stick with the heist genre, get the story right, get the plot right, and we're not moving away from the initial idea.
Yeah, we put in more scenes, maybe with action, with guns and everything, so people can get that overall gist. And the feedback also helped us construct Miranda's character, as there's quite a lot of negativity with our age group right now.
We tried to make it contemporary, basically.
Yeah.
Also the fact that the film relates to the zeitgeist, which is the era of the time, as today's society we see students always being put down over university fees.
ERA and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
They're not seen as nothing big, but in the film they actually have a huge plot to rob the bank. So.
Yeah.
And that was how we sort of,
Yeah.
we asked, that's what we sort of asked the audience to,
Yeah.
in terms of audience feedback, that's what they said to us, which was very helpful.
In terms of equipment used, we used 2 cameras for the initial filming of the trailer. We used the one that we're filming now, which is the Nikon D90.
That was for primary filming.
Yeah, primary filming. It's got an 18 to 200mm lens, which is really good. Obviously, don't need to zoom in, just using normal 80mm lens focus. The second camera we used was a Mark camera.
It was just like some really rubbish
It was just a
camcorder.
standard camcorder.
We didn't use it.
Just to use in the beginning of the trailer where
With a
those
sheet
transactions.
Yeah.
We didn't use a tripod for the filming.
For most of it.
Most of it was freehand.
And I found that quite difficult. Seeing I was the camerawoman for the whole movie. At first, it was quite difficult to keep my hand steady, but then obviously when we kept on filming, I got better. And also with the focus, because I'm not really used to using a HD camera. When even with taking our pictures with the construction of our whole trailer, most of the pictures were out of focus at first, so we had to go through that learning stage and learning process.
Because the focus had to be done manually.
Yeah.
Autofocus doesn't work.
So there was also some bits you had to change with the colour correcting, because like there was some, I asked for some settings to be like put down, like sort of the light, the saturation and stuff, but you couldn't actually do that with this camera, which was kind of difficult.
Especially in video mode, it works differently in video mode to picture mode.
So we established differences between that.
So for the change between the videos and the pictures we use for the main product and auxiliary tasks, it's quite difficult to get the change in them.
Yeah, and also within the use of communication as well, we used the internet, Facebook, to like communicate and interact with each other. We also used our Blackberries to ping each other as well.
If Ilya's one ever worked.
Just for communication.
Some people change their numbers.
It was for organisation's sake. So
there was a lot of ways to interact with each other basically. We kept well in touch.
Also with sending work and stuff.
We used emails,
Emails as well.
And that was pretty much it. In terms of software, I'm going to talk about After Effects, I sort of had to add VFX to it and sort of use that instead of Premiere Pro, which everyone else used, which was extremely difficult because After Effects is not actually an editing software. It's just a VFX software, But I found it helped sort of structure everything together, which was kind of easy. I think the only reason we didn't use After Effects was because there was a problem with the codecs from recording the
that's right. It was an AVI format.
It was an AVI format, but for some reason it read. And plus, we didn't want to get the software illegally.
Yes.
Unlike other people.
we tried to be very civilized with what we were doing.
It made it legal.
I mean, there were several effects I used, such as the camera. I mean, obviously, not all cameras actually are that bad nowadays. The one that's featured in the trailer. And
I think we all use Photoshop.
Yeah. And how's Photoshop for you guys? What do you think? I thought coming into it was kind of difficult.
That's the same thing I felt.
Once you get into it,
it's difficult, but when we worked as a group, we shared the ideas.
You just got to tell
increase knowledge of
what it is you just got to find the tools you want to use. So alright.
Since we had no microphone to catch any of our sound, we had to do separate voice recordings for Miranda's
Yeah.
talking.
Literally, basically locked her up in my car.
Oh.
Well, not locked her up, but
Yeah.
we
It's
sat in the car.
environment.
Yeah.
Just
Silent environment, and she spoke into the microphone.
when you record.
Go.
I'm sick and tired of people putting us down. Us students need to do something different, something big, something convincing.
I was supposed to do that.
We rob a bank. It's simple. People don't suspect students. We go in, surprise them and film it. We've all got our specialities.
That was so because we can because in most trailers there are like non-synchronized. Is that the word?
Non-synchronous.
So non-synchronous voice clips like for voiceovers and narration because we didn't want any of that background sound.
Yeah.
Like
So
yeah.
we filmed in a quiet environment.
Yeah.
We made separate notes at first so that we could talk about individual work.
And individual auxiliary tasks.
Yeah.
Evaluate that.
And then obviously we came together and we discussed about what we were going to say.
What was
What the
was
main
to
product
say?
trailer, yeah.
We have a laptop like right there.
Yeah.
You know what we're saying. We wanted to equally share.
Yeah.
So yeah.